We love wine, and you probably do too if you're here. And we all bandy about terms like red wine, white grapes, rosé, orange. But how is it that one fruit, the grape, can create this rainbow of colors in our glasses? Hey there, I'm Jacqueline for Vero, where we go around the world searching out wild and scarce, hard to find, small production wines to bring to the US for wine lovers, consumers, businesses, and distributors across the country to discover and enjoy along with us. We have been on a recent journey to discover a little bit more about how this magical liquid we call wine that we find in our bottles and our glasses comes to be. In a previous video, we talked all about the various steps it takes to make a good wine. So go check that out after this. I'll have it linked below. But today we are going to look at what determines if your wine comes out red, white, or all the shades in between. So, as a quick recap, if you haven't seen the previous video on how to make wine, winemaking starts first in the vineyard. Tending vines, careful farming is an important part of winemaking. One of the most important parts, some say. Then a winemaker will pick the grapes and process them. This is where our discussion of color will come in. The following steps will be mixed up and shuffled around based on whether we are making a red wine, a white wine, a rosé wine, or an orange wine. In crushing, grapes are crushed to release their juice and to mix the skins with those juices. In fermentation, the yeast will convert sugars into alcohol. Maceration or skin contact is where the skins and juices of wine will sit together. And this step here is where it's crucial for color. When we get to pressing, a winemaker will be separating the liquid wine or juice from the grape solids like the skins and the seeds. When all of this processing is done, the wine will go through a period of resting or aging in vessels like stainless steel or oak before it is finally bottled and prepared for you to enjoy. So now we get to the discussion of color. A color of a wine can be determined by two main factors: the actual color of the grape and the winemaking process. Sometimes it's one or the other, and sometimes it's a combination of both. In the world of wine, we will broadly categorize colors into four main ones: white, orange, rosé, and red. Each color will have various hues, like ruby or garnet for reds, and depth, like darker or lighter rosés. Again, these differences can be either from the grape or the winemaking, and also a combination. So first, let's look at the grapes. Even at the grocery store that we will get to just snack on, we can see that they are broadly separated into red-skinned grapes and white-skinned grapes. That skin has a deciding factor sometimes in the wine. You see, grape skins contain a compound called anthocyanins, and these can determine the color and the deepness. Less anthocyanins will mean less deep colors, and more anthocyanins will mean more deeper colors. This brings us to the discussion, or rather a common misconception. It's a myth that red wine with less color is not a good thing. It's a cheap wine. And this is just simply not true. Some of Italy's most prestigious and beloved red grapes, such as Nebbiolo, that makes Barolo, and Sangiovese, that makes Brunello di Montalcino, are from grapes that actually have less anthocyanins and therefore produce red wines that are a little bit lighter in color. Pinot Noir, too, is the same story. Conversely, on the other side of the anthocyanin scale, we have red grapes that are so intensely pigmented that even when they are made as a rosé, they result in a darker rosé, almost a light red wine. A great example is the Cerasuolo di Abruzzo. It's a rosé that is made from the Montepulciano grape. It's famous for its deep cherry red color, and even though it's made as a rosé, it comes out almost looking like a red wine. And in all of this, winemaking too will affect color. First, in terms of the processing order, which we're going to see in a minute, but also in the aging. Old wines tend to change color a little bit, becoming more garnet for reds or golden for whites. As well, the aging vessel will matter, with the micro-oxidation that we get with oak also changing colors in the final product of the wine. But let's get back to that first point of the winemaking, and let's see how the grape processing will change for each desired color of wine. In red winemaking, we want skin contact with the juice, meaning maceration is the name of the game, and sometimes it will happen during fermentation as well. As the grapes ferment, the alcohol and the heat produced will help to extract the anthocyanins from the skins, and this prolonged contact is what helps to give red wines their colors. So the process to make red wine: harvesting of red grapes, crushing, maceration and fermentation, pressing, and then aging. For white winemaking, we basically do the opposite of red wine, as the goal here is we want as little color extraction as possible. So we want no maceration, and we want to get the skins and the juice separated as soon as possible. This is even for cases where a white wine can actually be made from red grapes, like a Blanc de Noir champagne that's made from Pinot Noir. To achieve something like this, the juice has to have virtually no contact with the pigmented skins, resulting in a clear, pale yellow or golden hue. So to make white wine, harvest of normally white wine grapes, pressing, fermentation, and then aging. To make a rosé wine is a delicate balance. It's made from red grapes, but that have a very limited period of skin contact. The red grapes are crushed, and the juice is allowed to macerate with the skins for only a short time. Sometimes it's just a few hours, sometimes not at all. This is again depending on the type of grape, the grape skins, and the desired outcome of color. Winemakers will give rosé just enough time for the juice to pick up that beautiful range of pinks, from a pale salmon to a vibrant cherry red. But after this brief maceration, the juice will be separated from the skins and the wine will ferment like a white wine. To make rosé wine, we're going to harvest red grapes, crush them, have a brief maceration or an immediate pressing depending on the grape. Then we're going to ferment and age. Orange or skin contact winemaking. This is a fun one, and we've actually done a whole video about orange wines that I will have linked below. But quickly, and to greatly oversimplify, orange wine is basically a white wine that is made like a red wine. Instead of quickly separating the juice from the skins, white grapes are allowed to undergo a long skin contact and maceration. This can last from days to weeks or even months. During this time, the white grape skins will impart more pigment along with tannins and other unique aromatic compounds. This will give the wine a distinct amber, orange, or sometimes a deep golden color. We like to think of orange wine and rosés as opposites, sort of, where orange wine is a white grape made with red winemaking, and rosé is a red grape made with white winemaking, if that makes any sense. So to make orange wine, we are going to harvest white grapes, crush, macerate on the skins, ferment, press, and then age. All right, are you feeling more confident in understanding how your favorite wine got its color? Solidify that knowledge by checking out the blog article that accompanies this video. I'll have it linked below, and you can check it out on the Vero blog at verovino.com under the title Taste the Wine Rainbow. If you don't remember seeing that article, it might mean you aren't subscribed to the Vero newsletter. I'll have the sign up link below. But if you love wine and discovery, then that is the place for you to be, because we send out regular emails about new blog articles, new videos, and new products all the time to keep you in the loop on the goings on here at Vero. So head over and sign up for the free Vero newsletter to stay in the know. Now, are you ready to taste the wine rainbow? As always, here at Vero, we encourage experimentation and discovery. So it's only natural for us to suggest that you taste a whole host of colors of wine to find out which one you prefer. Luckily for you, you can head over to the Vero shop on verovino.com to browse our portfolio of hand-selected small production wines that cover that rainbow. The categories on the left-hand side of the screen will help you narrow down to a particular color you're interested in experimenting with. So thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like below and be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and to the Vero newsletter on verovino.com to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from Vero. Here is the video that I recommend for you to check out on the steps that go into turning grapes into wine. I'll see you in that video there. Bye!